Hi, um, this video has been a long time coming. Um, the last video was June 2020. That was the first video that I did, and that was 7 months after my stem cell injections in Barcelona. I had my injections in November 2019. They cost about 26,000 Australian dollars and plus 6,000 two return trips, which totaled about 6,000 Australian dollars. So it was about $32,000 altogether for this treatment at ITRT, which is in Barcelona. I did my first video and I did it because when I searched for videos on stem cells, and I just wanted to hear from regular people like me, their experience with it. And when you search on YouTube, you just get marketing videos and advertising videos and all of these kind of videos. You don't seem to get many. I think I found a couple. There was Spooner Tuner. He's got, the channel's name is Spooner Tuner. He had some experience. He went to the same place as me. I follow his videos, and he seems to have had a kind of a positive outcome. But I have seen that he needs to really take care of himself, and he has had a couple of issues with his back since, which may be self-inflicted by the sounds of it. Like he's moving tons of wood around and stuff. Anyway, that's his business. So yeah, I wanted to wait. I had a lot of requests in the comments for videos to follow up. How are you going? It's been what? Yeah, it'll be 3 years next month since that first video. And I've put it off for a long time because I wanted to leave it and be sure about my follow-up and what I say is correct. And also partly because I'm lazy and I don't do YouTube videos. I'm not a YouTube kind of guy. And yeah, I just haven't got around to it for so long. And then today I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and actually I visited emergency in hospital the other day for something completely unrelated, and I was on a stretcher on the bed, and they asked me to get up, and this has happened a few times actually, and I can't get up. It's like I have to, and if you pay $32,000 for stem cells, you would think that you'd be able to bend at the back and get up easily. I don't know, that's kind of what I hoped for. Anyway, so let me move on. I've got just a notepad here with some points. I don't really have a great deal to say, but I just wanted to make this follow-up video just to be done with it and put people's, so they're not asking me for the follow-up video. This is it, and I don't plan on doing any more videos on this. Unless something significant does happen, then I will. But I don't really see that happening. It's been, November 2019, it's been, what's that, three and a half years or something since the injections. So, yeah, okay, these are kind of all over the place. I should have put them in order, but so I'll just go through them. Lack of follow-up from ITRT, the place where I got the injections done. So when I was first going for the injections, I like researching them. There's BioAccelerator, ITRT. There's the ones in Virgin Islands. I forget what they're called. Something something. Anyway, they're all big marketing things, and the ITRT thing wasn't, and that's why I chose it. As I mentioned in the first video, communicating with them initially, lots of contact. They've got a really good speaking, and I met her in the office. She's really nice. Can't remember her name, but she communicates very well in the emails and stuff. And then after you go and you have it done, all of that stops and drops off, and you don't communicate with her anymore. She's just for initial contact or whatever, and then after that you're communicating directly with doctors, and there's an email address that goes straight to the cells department and bypasses that front desk. So you know, we had a few calls. That they did call a few times and check up and, you know, give us out of 10 your pain, blah blah blah, how exercise you're doing, everything. They mentioned, and strangely enough, they didn't contact me for a long time actually, and then it was after, I think the video must have got around to them, the first video I did, because it did say somewhere in the comments ITRT, and maybe, I don't know, they were a little bit worried or something, and they did contact me and they said that, you know, we offer a 1 year MRI to check their progress after 1 year. Well, yeah, I was all for that. I want that, you know, I want to see the actual progress on an MRI, to compare the, you know, the progress. And yeah, I said, yeah, I'm all for that. You know, I live in Thailand. The hospitals here are pretty good. Not all of them, but the main ones are pretty good. They said, okay, we need to do a special MRI to our parameters, blah, blah, blah. And I gave them a list of like 3 of the best hospitals in Thailand that I would have went to, whatever. And they said, oh, we're waiting for communication, and da, da, da. And then they just ended up anyway, it just stopped, and they just never replied to me again. And I didn't really bother following it up, because I think I sent them an email, but they didn't reply. I could have quite easily took that, and I said to them, you know, I can give me your parameters, I'll go to the hospital and I'll sort this out in 3 days, but they wanted to do it themselves via email. I'm sure I could have organised it easily, so I'm not sure what the problem was there. It seemed like a lack of interest from them. So the results, okay, it's a little bit better. I mentioned, if you want to see the full picture of what happened with my stem cell thing, you're much better off watching the first video. There's so much more information and technical details in there. This is really just a follow-up for the sake of following up. So the results, after 3.5 years, my back is a bit better. You know, I remember before I got them, it was every morning in bed, and I was struggling to get out of bed every morning, and I was doing that stupid thing where you're like a plank, you kind of balance yourself and to try and get up, almost as if I need like a handrail, like an old person or something. So it's better in the respect that it's not like that every day now, and it was really concerning before, because that was, you know, I was like 37 or something at the time, 36, too young to be not able to get out of bed, in my opinion. So it's better. I had the L5S1 and a couple of other discs in the lower back that were desiccated and degenerated, and the middle back, I also had an issue there. The middle back issue is actually fixed from this. I've got to be honest, that was impressive. Strangely enough, that was the one that they said that the stem cells might not help, and they were just injecting into the anterior area around the disc and not into the disc for some reason, because of the nature of the issue. But anyway, that's fixed. But yeah, still have issues. It's still an ongoing thing, and I've been tossing it up what I'm going to say in this video for years, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't completely write off stem cells. I don't know exactly what happened. I think they've improved my lower back, but the results are far from as good as I want them to be. do I do exercise and stuff? Yeah, I do boxing, Muay Thai and stuff. That's another story. I'll get to this later. I have a hip problem. So it's better, but it's not great. Okay, blah, blah, blah. No more videos. Covered that. Check out the earlier video. Not much has changed. Blah, blah, blah. Covered that. That's about it. I don't want to drag this on. There's no reason to make it a long video if we've got nothing to say. One thing I will say I find interesting is, I don't know, people talk about this YouTube algorithm. My first video has 212 views. I was desperately looking for a video in the beginning, just like this kind of video, a real person talking about their experience, and I couldn't barely find one. So I don't know what's up with YouTube and why these kind of videos get pushed down the line, and all the happy, it's amazing marketing videos get pushed up. But that's the way it is. I've got nothing else much to say on this topic, and I won't be making any more updates on it, as I said, unless something significant happens. I will also say, as I just mentioned, I do have a hip problem, which is kind of related in that I'm considering stem cells again for that, possibly. I went for a 10-kilometre run around an island a while ago, and it was found on an MRI that I have a cyst inside, say that's your hip. I have a cyst like up in the joint up in there. Somehow it developed really fast after that run, maybe from a shock or something. There were a couple of jumps and stuff on there. And I'm flying to Bangkok on Thursday to get. I already had a consultation about this in another province, and they said that there's only a few doctors in Thailand that can deal with this kind of issue and do the required surgery if needed. And they diagnosed it's a cyst, but I've got to fly to Bangkok on Thursday, and they're going to do an arthrogram and contrast and all these other tests to fully diagnose it. And they can repair the labrum, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go too far into this, but if comes to a point where surgery is not an option, like they're talking about a keyhole surgery, so it's not like a full deboning of the hip, like a lot of hip surgeries. It's quite a minimally invasive surgery. But if that's not an option, if the cartilage is damaged, that's not an option, then I would consider stem cells again, but I would probably not consider going back to ITRT. My experience with them was, I wouldn't say it was like, when they're around and you're dealing with them, they're great. You can hear a lot more about this in the first video. There were barriers, language barriers and stuff, which I think they could have handled a lot better by giving you like someone to walk around the hospital with, like, because you've got to pay the hospital and stuff, like, which is separate from ITRT for services. Up here in Thailand, they do that regardless. Like, that's just a service at some hospitals, like for foreigners. So I'm really surprised that a place like that doesn't provide that, and you're trying to grind through Spanish and English, a wall of communication there by yourself when their office is 50 metres down the hall. So, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a negative review of them or anything, but it's not a review anyway as such. But yeah, I would try a different one in future. And that's about all I've got to say on this. No more updates. If you want to do stem cells, I think go ahead and try it. I did have some results, but don't expect it to be the magical cure that's just going to fix everything, because maybe it won't be. See you later.